Hi, Joe Solari from the Business of Writing. And today we're just going to have a tech tidbit. And this goes back to the last vlog that Craig and I did where we talked about email lists and ways to better track your organic and free lists. So the concept here is this. We want to be able to identify readers that are engaged with you, that have come to you through the purchase of a book and then sign up to your email list. And we want to segment them from the list where you've got stuff through BookFunnel and InstaFreebie and maybe your ARC readers, whatever you're doing over there, folks that don't necessarily buy books. So you're going to need to, if you're using something like Mailchimp, you're going to need to create two lists. And in your books, you're going to have a link from that to that sign-up form that's separate than the other, so that you've got two separate channels that you're creating. The other part of this is, how do we identify the paths that those people come to and having some better tracking mechanisms? And one of the ways we can do that is by using Google Analytics and using Facebook pixels to track a conversion. So think about this. What if you could identify the specific conversion of somebody signing up for your email list from buying your book? That's almost as good as getting that information from Amazon. It's a highly targeted person. So we're going to capture that information, and then what we're going to do with that is send it to Google, and we're going to send it to Facebook. In the case of Facebook, you could use those transactions that happen at that conversion level and use that then to either target messaging to those people specifically, sending them ads for maybe your next book or a thank you note. Or you can take that information after you get enough of those and then use that to create a lookalike audience. So it's really a derivative, right? In the sense that you really don't know anything about that audience other than that they've read your book and signed up for your email. But it's a pretty good chance that if you could get a group of those people and then give it to Facebook for them to analyze, they could probably find similar people that would demonstrate that same behavior, being buying your book and signing up for your email. So you can see how the loop starts to close. But to make this all happen, we're going to have to do some stuff on the technical side. It's not terribly difficult, but it does take some different things and different programs to make it happen. So let's go through some of that stuff right now. If you're using WordPress like I do, this is a new site that I've created for doing author training. And I have a thank you page that's associated with the purchase. So you can see that there's an address that you would need from here. So you would copy the link address, and we're going to use that. And where we're going to use that is we're going to go over to Mailchimp. And when you go into Mailchimp, you would go to this new list, and you would go to sign up forms, and you're going to go to general forms, and you're going to select the confirmation thank you page. And instead of you using their thank you page, you're going to put in that address here. Make sure it's clean at the colon there. And then you would save it. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to screw this up. Now there's one more step with Mailchimp that you have to do, and that is if you have embedded sign-up. So like if you have taken the HTML and put that into your web page, you need to go back into sign-up forms, into embedded forms, and go down and turn off the JavaScript. You're going to disable that. And the reason what you're doing there is you're basically breaking the link between those pages within Mailchimp. And you can see here it says that the form will submit to your hosted subscribe form now. So that gets that, so it's sending to that subscribe form, which is great. So we have that happening now. So when somebody signs up, you can they're going to, after they sign up, they're going to get sent to that thank you page. They're just going to get forced right there. For other things like MailerLite or some of the other different email service providers, you'll have to look up how to do it. I know how to do it in this, and I know how to do it in Drip. Now, what happens next? Well, let's talk about Google Analytics. So in Google Analytics, if you don't have an account, go set one up and hook up your site. How to do that, just look on YouTube. There's a bunch of things created by Google to do it. But you're going to go to this gear down here, the admin gear, and you're going to go over to Goals after you've got your website hooked up and validated. And then you're going to create a new goal, right? So what do we want to do? We want to identify some type of engagement. So let's say it's submit content. And you're just going to put in became organic lead. It's going to be a destination. And now you're going to put in that address. But if you notice, they don't want the full deal. They just want that one part. And if you wanted to create a monetary value, you can. If you want to get deeper and show a funnel that you send people through, don't. But you're then going to save it, and you can verify this goal. So now what's going to happen is that information is going to be tracked in Google, and that's going to be helpful for using Google Analytics and dashboards to understand where your customers are coming from and their demographics and search history. So that's great. Now let's talk about Facebook. Facebook has the same features. If you go into your business manager, into all tools, and back into pixels, and let me just say this, if you do not have a pixel in Facebook connected to your domain page, and you're not using it in your your marketing strategy where you're picking up landing pages, have your Mailchimp connected to it, you are severely disadvantaged in finding customers. This is going to be a huge, huge help. You go up here to custom conversions and create a custom conversion. And it's a similar concept. What we're going to do here is we're going to be, putting in that URL. These guys, they want the whole deal. So you put that in. You can create other rules, but we're just then going to say lead, right? And you can say organic sign up. If you again want to put some kind of monetary value, you can. And then you can say create. You could set up an advertisement that the conversion, the result that you wanted to get from that advertisement is somebody signing up for your book. So if you think about that, it's a long, long trail to get there, but you're advertising for somebody to buy your book, and then you want to end up with them buying that book and then signing up for your newsletter. If that whole puzzle gets put together, so they see the ad, go on to Amazon, buy your book, read the book, at the end of the book, click through and sign up for your email, Facebook would capture that entire information. You would find out some ROI on your actual advertising as far as getting organic readers. But more importantly, what you would be able to do is over time, as that list builds of organic readers, you can then use that information within Facebook for your advertising strategies. That being advertising specifically to those people in future launches, and then layering over that, getting that abstract information that Facebook knows but won't share with us about those people that have signed up and finding correlation there and going out to identify other potential lookalikes that you could advertise to is a way to then build out your audience beyond just the traditional, like, well, if they like, this particular author, they're probably going to like my book, so I'll pick that interest. So it is a more advanced marketing strategy, but by putting this stuff in place, you will be able to do that. So that's really about it. I hope that you guys found this information interesting and helpful. I know there's a lot of moving parts to it, but if you do go through this process and get it set up, there is going to be some long-term benefit to you in really getting a strong connection in your marketing, your marketing engine to be able to identify who you should be marketing to that is really an organic reader and those that are not, and then in the future using this information to increase your scope of breadth to find more readers that are similar to the ones that have gone through that that torturous loop we just set up. For them, it's going to be fairly effortless. They don't know all this mechanical stuff you've got in the background. They're just, I like that book. I read the book. I signed up. But because we've gone through this process, it's captured that information. And once you do this, it's set and forget. You don't have to go back and check it. You just will know that you'll be creating those additional lists. So I hope you found that helpful. Thanks a lot for watching.